All right. Hi, everybody. Today we are going to be learning how to use PIXLR. So go to Google Classroom and click on your sixth grade art class. And what you're going to see is our normal screen, but then you're going to have mandalas for download here. And what I want you to do is click on one of them, and I want you to go through and find yours. So we can click and look through and see all of the different projects that have been uploaded here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to download Bennett's. Here's his, and we need to download it. And what people normally do is they'll just click and do save image as. That works. You can do it that way. You can save the image and then it'll download his image that way. But if you want a higher quality one, so I'll hit save anyways, just for the heck of it. If you want a higher quality image, we go in this upper corner here, upper right corner, and there's three dots. We click on those three dots and we click open in new window, and it's going to make a brand new window, and you'll see up will pop Bennett's design here, and then we can click on the download arrow here, and then we download a full quality copy of it. So it's a nicer version of that file. Yes, you can do it the other way, but this is going to give us a nicer looking version, a clearer picture of that file. Now, if you need to get a photo of your artwork and it isn't up on the website, but you need to get it into PIXLR somehow, you're going to need to use your Chromebook or your phone to take a picture of your artwork to get it to PIXLR. So if you want to color in any artwork that you make, you can always do it this way. Take a photo of it and then go to PIXLR and open it through PIXLR. Now I'm going to link a video right here that's going to show you how to take a photo with your Chromebook. So the next thing we have to do, we have our design now, is we're going to make a new tab or go to a new tab, and we're going to put PIXLR. You'd think that it was spelled differently, but it's PIXLR. And this is where you're going to get here. You're going to get to PIXLR Photo Editor. PIXLR X is going to put like filters and things. It's really fun to use photos on. We're going to use PIXLR E. So there's two different ways you can use PIXLR. PIXLR X is, like I said, it's different photo filters. And PIXLR E is what I mentioned earlier, how we're going to do our colorizing. So I'm going to go down here to open image. This is how we start. We're going to click this light blue button that says open image, and then it's going to pop open our downloads folder, hopefully. And it's going to take a minute to load. My Wi-Fi is not the fastest here, so it's going to take a second for it to load. If you're at school, it's probably going to load a little bit quicker for you. Once this loads, what we're going to do is click on our drawing, the one that I put online for us. And we had two of them, like I mentioned. So we need to pick this one here. We're going to pick, yep, and I can see that little preview of it. There's the preview of our little mandala that we made. So we hit open. And yep, we want it in HD, so hit apply. We definitely want it in high def. So we're going to click that button, and it may take a minute to load, and there we go. Now you'll notice here we have a little bit of white on the outside. We can get rid of that in 1 second. But what I want to do is kind of show you around here. It's like a regular app that you would use, but it's kind of like Photoshop condensed into kind of an easier, more usable package. So I want to show you a couple things. You're going to see this navigate button over here on the right-hand side. And if you take the slider, what that lets you do is zoom in. You can zoom in and out with that slider, which we're going to need to do in a minute. Over here is layers. We're not really going to need that right now. That's for more advanced things. Up here are all of our different menus. One you'll definitely use is save, when you want to save and download it here. And over here on the left, this is called the toolbar. And on the toolbar, we're going to use a couple of different things, not too many. To begin with, though, I want to just introduce the ones you're going to use. This one is our, it says draw here, but it's our paintbrush. We're going to use that for sure. And then down here, you may want to use the eraser. So that's our eraser tool. And below that is our paint bucket. That one is going to be very important too. Before we get to any of those, what I want to do is get rid of this white. If you don't have any white on the top and bottom of yours, you don't need to click on this crop tool. Now the crop tool is looks like an L7. And what we're going to do is take the edge, there's a little white edge, and we're going to pull that down a little bit. And I think my screencastify picture's in the way. I don't know if it'll let me move it. So what do I need to do? Zoom out a little. Okay, I'm going to hit the X button to get rid of that add. Ugh. Let me get rid of the picture of me here. There we go. There we go. X everything out. And now once I'm done here, you can hit apply, or we can just hit enter on the keyboard. So enter or apply, and now that got rid of the white for us right there. There, I'm back on. Okay, our next step is going to be talking about color. So you can do this one of two different ways. You can make yours rainbow and all different colors together, and you can kind of pick and choose what color you want. Or you can pick something called a color scheme, which is it's multiple colors working together to create your solution. So if you are a fan of the Buffalo Bills like I am, and you want to use those colors, you can pick red and white and blue and just keep repeating those colors if you like. Or you can do it any color that pops into your head. Now, one thing you're going to see here is that when it transferred, I'm going to use my navigation over here to zoom in a little bit. And then it's going to let me, hopefully, if I hold the space bar down, I can click and drag. Yep. So navigation, let me go over that quick too. If you click this plus and minus slider bar over on the right, it lets us zoom in and out. And then if I hold my space bar, it's going to let me click and drag and move around. So you're going to notice in this upper corner here that we have a little bit of a hole. And that may be accidental on Bennett's part, or it could have been when I took the photo, it didn't look proper. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click. Let's get rid of this for a second. I'm going to click right on this black circle, the one on the top. And I'm going to pick a color. I'm just going to go with red. Now I'll click OK. And I'm going to click on my paint bucket, which is right here on the toolbar. It's our fill. And if I go and click in the space, watch what's going to happen. It's going to end up filling this whole area because it bled through. Now, if you look down here, you can see that S, there's a little line there to cut it off, and then this is all cut off. But if we zoom in a little bit more, I'm going to show you what we're going to need to do to fix this problem. I'm going to hold spacebar again and click and drag. Nope. I'm going to go, I made a mistake, so I'm going to edit, undo, or Control Z. I'm going to hold that spacebar down. And once I see the hand, then I can start dragging to that upper corner. And this is where we need to get to. Well, we need that upper corner right there. Excellent. Okay, I'm clicking on my paintbrush, and I'm going to click this arrow underneath the 40 up here. Maybe 15 would be good. 40 is a little bit too big. And I want to switch my two colors. I want to switch. There's a little arrow next to it that flip-flops your two colors. And I'm going to go right in this upper corner, and I'm going to click and drag with my paintbrush and close off that hole. Okay, like that. Now that hole is going to be closed. So I can go in with another color now. Maybe I don't want to do red. Maybe I want to pick a blue now. Click OK. And now go back to my paint bucket and fill it in. So what you're going to need to learn when you're going through your project here is you're going to need to look for holes. Now I see one right here too. Here's another hole. So I'm going to switch my color back to black, and I'm going to go back to my paintbrush, and I'm going to draw in a line right there to close off that one. He's got another one here on the end of his Y that we're going to close in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually touch my trackpad with two fingers. So you can see me here on the side. What I'm going to do with my fingers is I'm going to pinch in and out like you would kind of do on an iPhone to zoom. And I'm going to move my mouse over it, and you can see how it lets me zoom right in. And I can fill in all those little holes. So that's two fingers. It's like a two-finger pinch. And then I'm going to go through and click on all of these different holes here to fill them all in, so that we don't get that bleed anymore. And that bleed is when we have a hole and the paint leaks into a different area. So all these little holes were taken care of. Now remember, this isn't something necessarily that you did wrong. It could have happened when it was scanned with the program that I use to get these on here. So it could be that as well. So I'm going to close in all these holes, make sure that's done. At this point, I'm going to do a time lapse and fast forward through this just to get it over with for you. All right, so now we're going to start coloring in, and I'm going to go back to my paint bucket, and I'm going to pinch my fingers to kind of zoom in on a place that I want to begin. And let's pick a color to begin with. I'm just going to pick whatever color I'm feeling at the moment. So let's go to kind of this yellowish greenish color. Click. I'm on the paint bucket, and I'm going to hopefully start filling in. Yep. And what I'm going to do is in each one, I'm going to kind of rotate around and pick an area so that I get that color in each part of my pizza slice here. So there, we got all that yellow. We had a little bit of hole there. That's okay. I can live with it. Now let's go back to that blue, which I started earlier, and I'm going to click a little bit of blue in each one, kind of switching up where the blue is, just for a little bit of variety here. And click in each one. Okay, now let's go to red, because we already had that red a little bit earlier. So let's do red now. And keep in mind, you can do whatever colors you're feeling. You don't have to do the exact same colors as me. You just pick what color you are feeling at that exact moment, and that's a-okay with me. Now let's pick another one. So we got, let's go to green next. I feel like doing green next. Pick a green. Now you can do different greens. So if you start off kind of with this lighter lime green, you can continue later with a dark green. They call it forest green or hunter green. It's also called. You can pick army green, which is another one of my favorites. So there's another little hole right there. That's okay. We can always come back to it later and fix it if we want to. So at this point, I'm going to do a time lapse, and you can see the project finish up. Okay, one thing you might notice when you're working on your project, that if you accidentally click on this black line, it's going to make your whole project a brown outline here, or really any color that you choose. So, I mean, it could really be anything. So if I pick this like kind of green color here, and I accidentally click on the black, it's going to make everything that color. So the way to fix that is to hit Control and Z, or just go to Edit, Undo. You can always fix that if you go into Edit, Undo. And you'll notice in the bottom corner here is my history. This is all of the different fills that I made. I can go back in time. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. So look, that's my goof. And if I click on fill, it lets me go back one step, and it remembers where I was. It remembers where I was, and it fixes that for me. So let's get a good look at it. Make sure we're all set. We have everything filled in, except for the house. I like the house white. We're going to leave that white. Everything else is going to be in color. So that means I am done. So here's what we're going to do when we're totally finished. We go to File, Save. And what save really just means is download. So we want high quality, JPEG, and file name. We're going to put your name here. So this is Bennett. So we're going to do Bennett Mandala. And we hit download. All right, good. We've downloaded it. We can hit close here. Now we need to go back to Google Classroom. And we hit the arrow to go back here. Let's get back to our main screen. And what we're going to look for is the one that says Mandala. Here it is. So what you'll need to do is go up here and click plus for add. We want to add a file because we just downloaded that file. So add file, browse, and let's find it. Here it is. Bennett Mandala. Great. And since it's done, when you're totally done, you're going to hit turn in and you are all set. And that's it. That's how you create your mandala.